So the last video I was doing got up to 20 minutes long. That was not my intention. Instagram caps videos at 20 minutes. So let's just get along. Okay, so because of this whole thing that I've learned about betrayal around software firm, this is why practically businesses find it difficult to employ solo developers and even companies, even in firms too. Um, Sometimes it's hard to manage people, right? Now, the bank, for instance, the bank doesn't want to be bothered with the software creation, the whole system. They wouldn't. They are just here to do business. These are businessmen who has founded banks, and now, obviously, we're not in the old days anymore, where things are being done on papers and ledgers. They now have to use technology. But these bank owners are not tech people. So when they employ people, their own team, to handle the software creation, most times it doesn't go the way they plan it to go. Right. This is where you now have developers putting back doors into banking system, and then after a while you see them just rock pull the whole bank, and the whole bank is having money exiting, like without trace. Or sometimes with trace, but it's too late. They can't do anything about it. Meanwhile, they now get to call an external audit firm, and the external audit firm is now showing them how the developers they trust are now the ones who actually did that, because it was definitely an inside job. Now, banks have the biggest fear in employing people. Forget about all those things people sign. You can sign on the NDA, sign on the every document. I mean, people go into marriage with false intention. Somebody will marry somebody, take vows just to ruin the person's life and account, steal from them, even most of the time, right? So people are really very dangerous, and signing documents or agreement is just a way to just protect yourself a bit. It doesn't in any way completely safeguard you from everybody. But now, what safeguards anybody is accountability and a second eyes. So if you look at two-factor authentication or multi-blockchain verification, where one person does one thing, another person checks it. In systems like this, it's hard for somebody to actually, plant a back door, because every single thing you do, somebody have to reassess it. Except you're in a way able to consider it so in a very good way where the other person doesn't see it. Now that is where software firms come in. I spoke to a friend of mine when they were done with building up their project. It was a tech app in Swiss. They had called an external auditor, not financial auditor, but tech auditor, someone who checked their system, the architecture, their codes, to know if these people were, SOC compliant. Like, are they SOC 1 and SOC 2 compliant? Are they proofed for at least the minimum, vulnerabilities, and, you know, um, are they prepared to withstand any form of attack? Are there backdoors in the whole system? Is there anything someone could use both outside and inside to, maneuver or take over the system? Now, the company went through it and came back obviously all the time with different feedback. Most times they want to make sure the code quality is okay, the security architecture is fine. Most times they make recommendation. These companies get paid good money, like from 100K dollars and above, like $100,000 and above, just to look at this code for the second time. Now, we have watched lots of movies. One notable movie I would never forget is the movie on Blacklist. So there's this movie on Blacklist. I can't remember the particular season, but on this episode, that guy that worked for the FBI, that hacker guy, the one that looks like an Indian, that later started dating that other lady that looked like an Indian. I can't remember his name. I'm trying to remember his name, but I don't know if it's still relevant. Let me see if I can remember his name, or let's search for it together. So on that particular episode, this is what happened. He was, founding this company with a friend, and the friend, after they had built it, after they had built the project, the friend was like, okay, fine. So he gave the friend some reports, right, telling him that, oh, there's some vulnerability. No, sorry, let me remember the story clearly. on the story, they called an external auditor, like an external firm, to go through the code base to know if there are vulnerabilities, if there's something they can exploit. And so that one, because he's actually more focused on money, he told the guy that, okay, you know what, everything was fine. So what happened was when they brought in the security audit, which is that other firm audited it, they found lots of loopholes, but he was already getting money from investors. And so he didn't want to scare investors away. Let me look for that guy. Let me look for his name first, and I can track the season. So if you're a software engineer, you can go watch that season. Blacklist. Okay, my blacklist. Is it Mossad agents? Uh, okay, this lady, somebody dated her. Okay, I'm just going to say blacklist, and I'll call her name Sama, right? Navabi and Mossad. Okay, his name is Mossad. Okay, so let me just use just Mossad. No, this is not what I'm looking for. Oh, no. I don't think I can even find the name. Blacklist the FBI hacker. I don't really know how long it's gonna take me, but there is Agent Cooper. Let me look for the cast. I'm going to look for it now. Well, while I'm looking for it, I'm going to tell you the story. So they called an external auditing firm to audit that code, and they found out that there were loopholes in the code. There was a vulnerability in the code, and so he considered it. He didn't make any statement around it, and so later on, somebody saw that backdoor and used it to do very big harm. Right. So now what am I trying to say? From the part one of this video to now, I'm just trying to tell you that companies really want to build on technology, but trust is an issue. And this is where a good software firm comes in. It has to be a company that provides user satisfaction. When people partner with this company, they are very happy because the company builds products that their users and their customers love, but it also be a company they can trust, because trust is such a very big word in this career of ours. Um, and this is him. Haram Muta. Why would I even be able to remember the name? Look at how complex it sounds. Haram Mutaj Mot. Oh God, Haram. So this guy of fire. So there is this episode where the company. I want you all to go look it so you can actually understand, where my inspirations are coming in from. So for me, what I started thinking of doing was to learn everything it takes: industrial psychology, how do I get the right people, what agreement do I need, what is it going to look like. Because if we could create one of the best software companies people can rely on, that can deliver what people really want, it's going to be a dream come true. So Blacklist Haram um co-founded software company, software company partner betrayed. I'm trying to just give the AI enough context so the AI can actually. Okay, the question seems to refer to the plots on blah blah blah. Okay, I think I should have said what episode. So this is not how to search on AI. Initially, we used to be able on this is not how to search on Google. Initially, we used to search on Google differently. Women used to be the one. People who were not tech savvy used to be the one to search for things like this. They will say something like, "My stomach is paining me. I don't know what drug to take. What can I take?" And they'll search it like that on Google. And back then, you would not even get any search results because you had to search for like things like stomach pain symptoms. So you should not be able to not find it. But Google is so good right now that I can say what episode of Blacklist had Haram. More okay. Mojtabe having a co-founder software, having a co-founder on a software company, or a software company who betrayed one that couldn't even get anything. Self. Okay, so that's yeah, that is it. Episode 9. Sorry, season 9, episode 11. So if you go check out that episode, you understand all the things I'm saying right here. Cause on that episode, Haram was able to build a software. They had an external auditing firm, code auditing firm, check the project. They found loopholes and vulnerabilities. Now the aim for me is to have something like this that firms can actually reach out to build both the software for them, to help them audit, manage both legacy systems, consultation. You want team of experts to look into a project you would want to build. Like just be an authority that people know they can get value from. Right. So, but that thing is more of paperwork. It's not just about coding. So you know how to code, fine. Kudos is good. You know how to code, right? But it's not about you anymore. It's about the people who would work with you. Because you being able to code, you coding as a person, you're a solo developer. That is what you think of. It's my skill. You being a tech founder, good. You're focused on your service. But being a tech founder to a software firm, it's a very, very unique career and life journey path, right? So me getting to learn was getting to learn how to actually be that person who would have lots and lots of people and somehow manage these people, keep systems in place where people can trust this brand and this brand can partner with people. This brand can be reliable. The people who are working in the brand to offer value are also well compensated. There is good contracts to avoid we having any issues because honestly, contracts are there to really help you avoid issues. I can remember one time I had a developer come in. He came in as an intern and he promised me everything. Told me I shouldn't pay him. He wanted to work with me. I told him, I see me myself, I don't really need your help now because I do more of automation and that is where my job comes in. I don't do web app. I don't do mobile app. I only do engineering, automation, machine learning, and pattern recognition. Then once in a while, I do smart home automations. But more of my time is around automation. Now, cybersecurity is not even something I do like for working for firms because it's actually very, very attention needing. Except maybe it's to just look into a system and see if it can be cracked. Because the way I know how to crack system, I also know how such crack could also be avoided, right? And so this intern came in and said, no, 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 don't worry, please. I want to honestly and sincerely learn from you. And so he started working with me and we were working. And there was a point when he started getting good at things because I was in real time giving him different practicals. I will assign some of my tasks I'm supposed to do with him and he would do those tasks. And he started getting good at it. Now, this was where we started having a conflict. Now, most of the time when job comes in, like people reach out to me for a job, I'm usually not very available to do that consultation. So he already has a fair understanding of the requirements. Like if we're supposed to automate or do this kind of thing, this is what we would need to do. I've had lots of Google meetings with him. So each time I'm talking to a client, he's always there. So I'm like, do you know why I asked this client this? It's because this client needs to know this. And then it's from this to be able to know if they would, like practically started asking him how to ask the right questions and how to listen to people's deliverabilities to know what they want delivered to them. Because it's very important as a software engineer, you want to know what your client needs so you can be able to model back, come back, interact, and everything is like what the client actually wants. If you don't know how to listen to clients, you might end up having, people say, oh, this is not what I really wanted. So it's more of listening to listen and understand and ask the right questions so you really get what they want. And so I became confident in him, obviously, because he now knows how to ask the right question. But problems started coming in when job will come in. Like people would reach out to us. And after that, I don't hear from them again. So it actually took quite some time for somebody I knew, because he came in and said, "You know what, I've paid. So I guess you guys are doing my job now." This is a very good friend of mine, Ben. I said, "You've paid?" He said, "Yes." So he sent me the payment, screenshot. And this was not to my, company account. This was to another different account totally, not even this intense account. And so I said, "Okay, but this is not me." He said, "No, that it's him that he contacted. It's not that developer I told him to talk to." I said, "Yes." He said, "Okay, that guy was not available now." They spoke to him, and this was the follow up. They gave him the account to pay. And I said, "Okay, you know what? I would want to know where this is heading to." Right. So I asked him to book a call. Now he booked a call again, and my intern was the one taking the call. So my intern right now takes jobs that would actually come to me and just shit them. And since most times I would tell him to handle most of the things, I don't want to get involved that much. He was actually doing things by himself. Anyway, to cut the story short, I had told him to stop working with me because I'm not really sad that you took someone from me, but you almost denied it, and this person is someone I know. And I really felt like if I bring in a job that is supposed to be something I would want to do, and I want you to go listen to them to know what they require so I can iterate back, or you could help me execute it, which obviously I was compensating him as much as I can tell. I was doing my whole best on the conversation. So I felt a bit, like he had breached that trust, but we didn't have an agreement. There was no compete, there was no solicit, right? So if you talk to a lawyer, they would explain what a non-compete and non-solicit is. But however, I had no agreement, and so something happened. I told him to stop working. So few weeks later, I bought a car. I got a new car. He saw it and messaged me and deleted. So I opened the chat. I saw he has messaged and deleted. Me, I don't really know how to follow out to people where I will not start blocking them. So I just waved it. I didn't even ask him what he deleted. I just kept it. I didn't pay attention. Then a few weeks after, he sent me a demand that I should pay him for the time he had worked with me. Like those period when I would give him jobs that I used him, that he wants a compensation, right? Now this is somebody that if I had given him a proper agreement as an intern, which I have right now, I do have one right now. That's to show you how prepared I am. Not prepared like in a bad way, right? I still have independent contractors agreement. If you're working with me full time as a like developer, or you're working with my firm, not me personally, you work with the company. So if you're working with the company, we have what we call an independent contract. This is something that you would go through when you go through the contract. Let me show you an example. Let me give you an example. Okay, so this right now are different contracts. This is a full-time employment. So let's assume you're working for us on full-time. This is one. We have this is independent contractor. You're not working full-time, but based on the job and tax you're able to fulfill. Then finally we have the internship contract. Yeah, this is the internship contract. Now, the internship contract states the amount of time this person will work, what this person is learning, and so many other things. Now, what I'm trying to say in an essence is this person became very hostile, started abusing me, started trying to tell me that, because I think because when he was apologizing, I told him, I've had your apology, but I don't really feel we could walk the way we could walk again because you were lying, you were gaslighting. Instead of even telling my friend that, why would you go back and tell Mr. Danny, do you want to put me in trouble? And I'm not like, you're not even sorry. If you had told me, if you had even lied to me and told me, sir, you were busy, I was even hoping to tell you. And maybe I received the account. I don't really know, but you should, like, when you made it feel like this is what you're doing and this person has spoiled your market, I'm not like, so how many jobs have I been giving you to help me listen to that you probably have been doing this? Anyway, that's where agreement comes in. So we drugged this matter. He called a lawyer, one charge and be a lawyer like that. Came in and I started folding my hand, and I'm like, what if I had given this person an independent contract, right? An internship contract, right? So anyway, contract means a whole lot, right? So um it's really been a journey trying to learn everything you need, the contract you need, the compliance you need, the structures, the team, industrial psychology, how do you work with people. These people are human beings, all right, and they deserve to be loved. Even if they're working with you, they deserve to be understood. There's so many things when you want to be a tech founder. It goes beyond the products. It's a system. You focus on the customers who love it, the people who be producing it, then the product, not the product first, right? If you just focus on, oh, I'm producing this thing right now, I want to sell it at this amount of money, Your business could sell, but if you focus on the customers, give them what they want, look for the people who are offering it, give them what they want, the product itself will always keep getting better. But to do all these things, you have to work with people. To need people, you need a proper system, and that is where I'm offering that proper system.